Hey folks, Tanner Cherney here, Devils Lake, North Dakota, checking in. Glad to be back from the Big Apple. I just wanted to say my sincerest apologies to those that watched the Facebook report last week. I didn't realize the title was actually in New York and didn't have means to correct it, but Facebook ended up cropping my head out of the video. If you watched it on YouTube, it was just fine, but for whatever reason, Facebook formatted it a little bit different and didn't have the opportunity to catch it in time. But irregardless, we're back in North Dakota, ready to go walleye fishing. As you can see behind me, I've kind of got my bobber rods put away. Definitely can still catch fish on bobbers right now, but what I wanted to touch base with this week is the capital T. It's trolling time, which we've been talking about since the 4th of July, but you know, it is August. Definitely the dog days of summer, but some of the best fishing is here right now, and it's going to be whether you're trolling bottom bouncers with spinners, bottom bouncers with smiley blades, or even lead core with crankbaits. Kind of the three main and most effective ways to target walleyes in Devils Lake right now. Not to say you can't catch them with jigs and other various forms of the traditional walleye fishing, but trolling is definitely going to be king here until that fall bite picks up. And speaking of that, right now the areas you're going to want to target, like we've been talking over the last couple of weeks, are those old lake shorelines, whether that's you know, the year 1990 is when the flooding really started to take place. So depending on where you are in this lake, that's going to be anywhere from probably 17 upwards of 25 foot of water, whether you're on the east end or the west end of the lake. And biggest thing is, when you're trolling right now, 0.9 to a mile an hour on the low end, upwards of 1.3, depending on how the fish are reacting. And if you are live bait rigging with your bottom bouncers, a word of the wise, if you start to notice that you're not getting a lot of hookups or you're getting short bit, shorten up your crawler. Start with a half crawler, maybe get down to a third, and just kind of play those fish out. A lot of times you'll get that notorious short bite and they'll peel that crawler off there without even getting their mouth on the hook. And when things are going really well, don't be afraid to throw on plastics like a Berkeley Gulp or any kind of twister tail on there. It seems that when the fish are very active, those work really well. And on the lead core and crankbait thing, same thing, number 5s, number 7s, depending on where you are, how much line you're letting out, speed. Obviously, I don't do a lot of lead core trolling, so that is not my expertise. But one last thing I wanted to touch on before we sign off in this report is, it is the dog days of summer, it is August, but it is not too early to start thinking about hunting season. School's going to be kicking off here in the next couple weeks, and it is definitely on the horizon. And over the last 12 months, for those who have been following along, we've had a very wet cycle up here in Devils Lake, and a lot of our ponds and sloughs are full. We're in the heart of the Central Flyaway and Prairie Pothole region, and we're very fortunate in North Dakota that we do not have a lottery for out-of-state waterfowl hunting. So you can kind of come up on a whim's notice, and it looks like it's going to be a fantastic fall. But biggest thing I wanted to touch on is lodging and getting those dates booked in. If you've got time off, you've got your week plan that you want to go duck hunting or goose hunting, things are definitely, guides are filling up, hotels, resorts, campgrounds are filling up. So if you've got those particular dates, now is the time to get those locked in before it's too late and you're figuring out, I don't know where to stay. And the same thing goes, I got augers behind me here on the wall. They're definitely not going to be used for a while, but if you've got particular dates early ice season, now is the time. It doesn't seem like it's probably in front of your mind to be thinking about, but now is definitely the time to get those dates and guides booked up. Trust me, you'll thank me and you won't be as sorry when it comes to, oh crap, everyone's booked up, I can't get there. And like I said, expect this bite to be really good right now. We've got a good algae bloom going on the lake. It's going to help keep those fish a little deeper and a little more active throughout the day. And you're going to watch this trolling bite turn into a really good jigging bite here as we get closer to September and that water starts to cool down. Those fish become a little bit more on the chow for that feed bag before winter sets in. And if you're going to be out and about over the next couple weeks, whether you're fishing, hiking, shopping, just exploring, recreating on the lake before you got to get the kids to school, be sure to share your photos with us on social, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, using #DevilsLakeND. And hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll see you next week.